Hello, my name is Rowdy Rau. I am a small business farmer. I am trying to help people that have little or no money make it kind of like homesteading, make a living on your own. Now, I've been unemployed for a long time, so I decided instead of just doing nothing because it gets really boring, and that I would go and I would start a farm because I love to work. I am a working man. I love to work. I love a farm. And if you ever wanted to try something in your life, I would try a little farm. I've never had so much joy in a little farm than I've had since I started this, and that was only about a week ago. Now, I'm going to show you today a simple fence line that you can make out of the material out of your own backyard, depending on if you have woods or not. Now, I try to recycle the wood in the forest and stuff like that as best I can. In other words, I'll use dead wood if it's solid enough, and I use live saplings, probably anywhere from 1 inch to about 3 inches in thickness and radius, or in diameter, excuse me. And so today, I am just doing a border fence line, trying to block off my farm, just from the view of the public, and to make it look more country style. Make it look like a farm, like a ranch. So I'm going to turn my camera now, and I'm going to show you this simple fence line that you can make if you have some woods in your backyard, or even have a neighbor that has woods that would allow you to go in there and clear it. I call it clearing because you can take dead wood off the ground. You can basically, take trees, saplings that are growing together in clumps, and you could thin it out. You could thin the woods out, get some more sunlight down to the ground, and then you can even have a garden in the forest if you clear it out enough. Now, I'm going to turn this camera. This is my simple fence line. This to me is beautiful. It's very country. It's an old style, an old way of doing fences, but it works. And this is basically, like I said, dead wood or some live trees that I cut down to make some fence posts, and I cut them to about 7 feet in length, and I put them in the ground about 20 inches. Now, I'm not concerned right now about the rotting of the wood or anything like that. I just want a basic fence line, and I replace that wood as I need to later on. I am just trying to get started and trying to get things going, because normally the next time I do something like this, chances are I'll put tar at the bottom or oil or something on the bottom of these limbs so that the water doesn't seep into the wood and rot it, and it just rots it, and you just end up breaking it later on. Now, all this is, you cut 7-foot posts, and you cut 9-foot limbs. It's basically saplings. Like I said, saplings about 1 inch to about 3 inches in diameter. And you basically do like a weave. You take 3 posts and you separate them at 8 foot in length. And you make the saplings, you cut them about 9 feet in length. So you got 7-foot posts, 9-foot weaving limbs, saplings. Okay, and you just weave them in and out, and they're very solid because, especially if you get the straight wood, sometimes this crooked stuff like this here is very difficult to get to sit, but sometimes you'll be surprised it actually grabs very well and it looks very nice. I like it. I think it's a very stylish fence. It's old school, but it's got a lot of country to it. And anyway, so the next thing I want to show you is if you decide that you want to have a private fence line. Okay, for however long time that might be, okay? Now, eventually this is going to be put up with goat fencing or chicken wire or whatever it is I'm going to put over here at the moment. I'm not really sure because I haven't laid out my farm completely. But so I'm going to line this with probably some wire going all the way down. But anyway, in order to get you some privacy, if you're really looking for privacy, this is what I recommend. You just take the limbs from the trees that you cut and you just weave them into the fence line, okay? Very simple, very country, very nice. I kind of like it. I have had neighbors that would prefer it like this, and I can understand. I like this myself. But the other thing is, you're not going to be able to keep all the rodents out, but you can keep a little bit of things out from getting into your yard. But, mostly this dead wood and stuff, they'll just bite right through it and get right through anyway. So it's not going to really do much for security. But it will do something for just privacy. So I recommend it. If you want to do privacy and you don't have a way to buy it, this is what I would recommend. Now, how do you set this thing up? Well, How do you set up a fence line? Well, it's just like anything else. You take a long string. You go about the length of where you want to be. You start from one end and you work your way to the other. This is my string. It's a line that tells me that I don't have to go and measure every time. I usually make it 3 foot from that gutter over there. That gutter goes down, and there's a grass line that I have cut right over here. And I'll take it about 3 foot back from that, and I'll set it 4 foot from the other post. Because I need 8 foot sections in order to run 9 foot saplings in between them and weave them and make them nice and tight and secure. So, and by the way, if you want to secure them, just use some nails, put them in the limbs, put them in the saplings, and it'll do just fine for security. Your horses won't be able to knock them down, or any animal that you have. It's just a simple and easy remedy to do it. And if you have some old nails sitting around, I wouldn't recommend rusty ones, but if you have nails like me, I just gather them wherever, and I use them on stuff like this. But anyway, this is my line, and I tie it around one of my poles, and I'll run it all the way to where the end of my fence line is, at the space that I want. And I'll go up there, and I'll set mine at 3 foot back from the gutter, and about, you can't really set up a 4 foot distance, which you have to make sure that between here and there, you make yourself enough room. And it really doesn't matter if you're a little shy, like you're 3 foot instead of 4 foot, because when you weave these branches, that'll tighten it up, and it won't be much different. But so this is how you line it up, and you just start putting your posts in, and just go right along the line there. And then you take your limbs from your trees that you knock down, and the tops of the trees or the branches, and you just weave them inside. You recycle. It's very useful. Just recycling and just using everything you can, not wasting the wood that you knock down, and just using it in your fence line. And if you want to, if you're concerned about, people's cigarettes, because I'm right next to a road, and so I'm concerned about people flicking cigarettes. Well, what I would recommend is that run a sprinkler system over it a little bit. Because see, I put mine 3 foot back from the gutter over here, simply because I want to get behind it and I want to mow it so it looks neat all the time. I don't mind the grass along the base, but I do want to mow my grass back there just to make it a little more presentable. I'm not trying to make a farm that looks like a dump. You want to be as presentable to neighbors as you can. I've got 2 acres here, and we will get into more of what I'm doing next as soon as we get back to the next video. But here it is, your basic fence line. If you have a forest or some woods, or your neighbor does, I would recommend just go and ask them if they don't mind you clearing out the dead wood or getting some live trees out of there, some little saplings and stuff, and just putting your poles in. These poles, I use anything from a 5 foot diameter to about a 3 inch diameter, and some of them might be a little bit bigger, and that's what I do. And then I use the smaller ones to weave in and out, and that's just a recap. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you like what I have said today, and if you're interested in more in what I have to offer. Really, it's just the wisdom the Lord has given me, and I give him all the glory. And I'm just blessed to be a son of the Most High, and that he is taking care of me, and he will take care of me from this point on. So Lord bless you all, and please subscribe to my videos if you're interested. Write me, send me comments, whatever you want to do, and I would be glad to answer your questions. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.